This is Damon Stevens, the Wealth Builder. Today is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. It is Turnaround Tuesday, and boy, did the market turn around today. So hopefully you kept yourself safe, locked in your profits. And if you wanted to get on the short side, you got on the short side and was able to capture some of this. And, where does it go from here? Let's get into it and take a look at what's going on in the market. So looking at the market today, the Dow Jones closed down 1.686%, NASDAQ down 2.41%, and S&P 500 down 1.9%. If you're looking at the heat map, boy, you can see really only a couple stocks actually did well. Apple just did really well, and I kept looking at the SPY going down all day and stocks, and I saw Apple going up, and I was just like, man, talk about separation. That was pretty amazing to see. So hopefully you saw Apple, reaching new highs, and just looks like it continued to have a strong bullish momentum. PFE did well, and Tesla just kind of, was mostly flat, but gave you kind of a little bit of a trade today. But you can see overall the world heat map, lots of red. So this uncertainty with the virus, the vaccines and everything else is just creating a little havoc for us here, giving the market excuse to pull back here and get a little bit of a reset. So, the question is this a dip or is it a collapse? And, for right now, it looks like just a dip, but we'll see as we get going here. Looking at the scanner here, CPIX was the top player today. Get into our charts here. PPSI is a multi-day trade. So let's get into some of these charts and look at them. So CPIX here, you can see here that 220 was low, 558. This is in pre-market. It hit a top here, came down to 377 by market open. We were open back high again. We hit a 588 at the open on the market, and that gave you a chance to get in there. It pulled back here to 403 on our trend line, where it hit here, and you can see a second time here, bounced off that trend line, went up to 535, and then now we're just flat. So looking to see if we get a continuation play tomorrow, but CPIX gave you a multi-day trade within the day. And so whether you're a pre-market or you played it all 3 times, congratulations. That's what you want, is, a multi-day trade. ADGI did not do that. It just on the open spiked up from basically from $48 to $78 and change, and then pulled back and just kind of fell all day long. And then late morning came down to 41.50, got back up to 49.898, and just went flat all day. So I was looking for another momentum here, see if it was going to bounce for us again. It did not. So hopefully you're able to catch that first run, or maybe a little bit of this second run here, which was not really a whole lot. LGVN, this is a multi-day trade. It's just coming out here, you can see it's gone up and down, and we've been in this downward wedge, and we're pretty much down in it all day long. You see here that we just continue to decline here, and then at the end of the day here, you can see that we bounce out of this descending wedge. There's your spike up to 31.40, and then a decline right back down to the 50. And now after hours, we've come down and actually dipped a little bit. So hopefully that doesn't mean we're done here. It could be, but LGVN is giving you lots of trades here. It's been very volatile, so you have to be really careful with it. And you have to be patient too. Be patient for these spikes. PPSI was another one. You see here that this is a multi-day trade. Come out here, you can see we hit the trend line twice, pulled back here. Looked like it was a dead deal. It came down to our trend line, lower trend line here at 829, bounced off of it and went up to almost $11. So that was your run, end of day again, and then a pullback here. So does this give us another one? Not sure. It looks like it's getting weak. So PPSI may be done, but we'll see what it does in the morning. So here's our Apple that we're talking about. So here's our trend line. You see where we've hit it here back in April. We hit it in July. We hit it in September. And now we're coming and approaching it in October, which, this puts us around what we talked about in our prior videos of around 170. So we're looking for a run up there. So we'll see if we can tag that tomorrow. This is very, The momentum is very strong in this stock. It may or may not make it all the way. So we'll see. I can see here that it fell short about 165, came back and tried it again. Looks like it's filling again, so it may not make it tomorrow. It may actually pull back since it didn't make it here. But we'll watch it in the morning, watch it in pre-market and see. But you see here, just so you have some a line here, you can see that it hit it twice and failed. It's actually just sitting right there now. So we'll see what it does. Moderna, rocketed up here. Didn't fill a gap. We talked about that last night's video, and then it pulled back here and it fell below the resistance line. Still trying to hover above it here, hopefully. We do have a gap down here to fill. We'll see if Moderna can give us more. It may get a little weak here, so just be cautious of that. BNTX showing weakness as well when it failed resistance as well. And Invax spiked up and came down and found resistance. Found support here and bounced back up here, and it's just under this trend, the support line here. So just be aware of that. Be careful with that with the Invax as well. Tesla, you can see here we're in this wedge right here. So you can see that we came down, tagged the bottom of our trend line, came up almost midway, tagged it again, fell through it, back up towards the middle line. We tagged the top of the trend line like we did up here, came back down, tagged the bottom again. So a lot more at the bottom. Hopefully that doesn't mean we're going to fall through here. It's possible. Hopefully this just finds momentum here and is able to build enough momentum to go up. And if it does, then we're looking at the 190, 192 range is what we're headed towards. So we'll see if we can get through that. We have resistance here at 1168 on the way out. So we'll see what it can do, but hoping that this can rally tomorrow, at least, get to 1162, 1163 range tomorrow. So we'll see if we can keep that momentum going up and just take advantage of this little chop here since we know what the range is. Amazon pulling back here. So I don't know if you caught this drop, but hopefully you did. So in a short, you can see that we had it here, dropped down to this trend line at 3,500, back up and came back down to it again. So riding right along it, I don't like this amount of time here. Could show some weakness and we could drop out of this tomorrow. So just be aware of Amazon may drop out here if we see weakness in the market tomorrow. Shopify, descending wedge here, you can see here down our trend line, it is honoring that trend line, but it is headed down. So just be aware of that. And for the rest of our stocks here, the dollar's just kind of sitting down here. It is showing weakness. The VIX spiked back up. I talked about this in our last night video. Just watch out that VIX. Watch the VIX. It jumps up, the market's probably coming down, and that's exactly what happened. So, as long as we stay elevated up here and we don't drop back in below these 20s, we're probably going to see downward momentum. And the SPY month end is really important to see what the market's going to tell you as far as what's going on coming into the next month. And, I watched this just kind of trickle down at the end of the day. And I thought, okay, is it going to bounce off and rally at the end of the day, show us that we got some strength here? Or is it just going to sit there and just trickle all the way down and stop right on that 50? And it didn't. It dropped below the 50, just barely, just enough to be a tease out there to say, hey, you know what, I'm showing enough weakness below the 50 now that I could possibly drop clear down to the 100 and down to our trend line here. If it does tomorrow, you're looking at around, 447. If it breaks that trend line, we got a long way down here to this 425 at the 200. So we'll see. It's showing weakness here. It purposely, I think, showed the weakness here. So does it rally up? Because this is a big breakdown candle. So a lot of times stock will, trick you, and the market will trick you, and you'll think it's coming down, and it just traces this candle part way, possibly retrace it halfway. It could retrace it the whole way. So we could have a little bit of rally. It's possible that we could come down here, bounce up partially, and then come down. So that's a possible move here. We could just rally up here. Don't think so, especially if the VIX is elevated, and just seeing what the other indexes are doing and how weak they are. I think I think we're either going to just come down tomorrow and gap down tomorrow, or I think we're going to come up and possibly dip. So just be aware of that. Be careful out there. You see here on the monthly, you can see that we tagged this all-time high, and then we kind of just came down flat here. So this is, very bearish here at the top. So this could be the downturn here to start down, coming down and possibly down, this is 430. So to come that low, I'm not sure, but something to be aware of. Triple Qs, you can see here, the trend line, we've tagged it here and here, got above it, came back low. We're showing some weakness. We're right at the 20, so that's good because we were below it. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. See if there's a gap, we're probably coming down. If it gaps down tomorrow or we are below it, maybe coming down to this 384 level. So just be aware of that. Semiconductors showing a little bit of weakness as well. It's below the resistance level, so our support level now. So just be careful there. IWM really came down. It came down to 200, spiked at 200, stopped at it. So we'll see if we can bounce off of this, but just be careful with this. IWM really came down. If you got the short on this, if you had some puts or you shorted this, you got a really good run. So congratulations on that. That's really sweet. That's a sweet run right there, and really clear. Dow Jones pulling down as well, 344. So below our trend lines, below the 50 and the 100. So 200's next possibly. So we'll see if the Dow Jones can rally up here, but it's got a support line here. You can see here, if I extend this out here, this line that we have out here, you see that's where we're at. So if we can bounce off here and get back in here, we might be all right, but if not, 200's the next stop. Financials broke below the 100 as well, head towards the 200. So showing weakness across the board. So just be careful out there. This could be a possible dip by the dip opportunity, but we need to really kind of see, do we continue to get bad news out there, or, does the news kind of fade away and we're able to rally back up? It's hard to say right now. Gold, you can see that we were in this descending wedge and bounced out of it, and now we're coming right back down to it. So that'll be our support. Hopefully if we hit the bottom of that wedge. Silver still showing weakness as well. Bitcoin is flat, consolidating. Ethereum, nice little rally. You see here that where it tagged our trend line, and it's coming right back up to it again. So we'll see if we can tag it again. That'll be almost around 5,000 mark. So looking good there. Luna is another one. You see here it tagged our trend line 3 times, 4 times, and now it's pulled back here. So this seems to be pretty common. It tags it, pulls back, tags it again, pulls back, tags it. So it looks like we're on that next run. So hopefully you're able to lock in some profits here on Luna. Shiba off that news that was with all news, and we had Shiba hitting some other brokers that are going to carry Shiba. So that created a lot of excitement in the marketplace. And you see this nice little spike here, and then just kind of a trickle down to support. So we bounce off the 50, just below the 100, or above the 100. And so we'll see if we can rally back up here a little bit. But, Shiba does this, every once in a while, it just gives you some nice little pop and then comes down. So this is our next little pop to see if this will give us some more possibly. So things to be aware of, those are the cryptos, that's the stock, the small caps. So there's opportunity tomorrow. Look for the VIX, look at the SPY, see where it's at, triple Qs. If they're positive, we might be moving back up a little bit. Could have a fake out as well and come back down. So be careful there. And we'll talk tomorrow night to see what the market brought to us and how we did in the day. So be safe out there, and we'll see you tomorrow night.